Shalom, Shalom. When it starts always by giving all praise to Yahweh Shem Al Shai, double honors, apostle GMS, and honors to you brothers that are doing the work in truth, while sincerity. Just one geezer had made the statement. Apostle Charles referencing him. Basically, the geezer was like, "What does it say in the scriptures that the prophets of the Lord, shall be put into prison?" So I'll try to go through this quickly, because that's an absurd statement. And there's several accounts in the scriptures where people have been put in prison, right? It says Genesis 39:20 says, and Joseph's master took him and put him into the prison. So this is one. Joseph was cast into prison, right? It says a place where the king's prisoners were bound, and he was there in the prison. So Joseph was cast into prison, right? Jeremiah, you got Daniel. Right, you got you got Shadrach, Meshach, and Abednego, and then the lion's den. Right, it's Jeremiah 39:15 it says, now when the word of Yahweh came unto Jeremiah while he was shut up in the court of the prison, and Jeremiah was put in prison. Well, you gotta always understand that what we're teaching is a problem to the people. It's like what we teach is a problem to when we teach, because when we read Jeremiah 28:8, it says the prophets that have been before me and before thee of old prophesied both against many countries and great kingdoms, of war and of evil and of pestilence. And of course, if we're going up to the kings of the kingdom and saying, your kingdom's going down, then they're gonna do us harm. They're gonna want to put us in prison. They're gonna want to do more than that. They're gonna want to shut us up in any way possible. Right, because this guy's talking about, what does it say? The prophets of the Lord be put in prison. And that, for one, that says he wasn't learned. He didn't, because you can think of several scriptures, but then you contrast it further, right? Prophets were killed for this truth, man. Yahweh Shah was killed, and all he did was just teach the scriptures, man, teach the law. But they didn't. They hated them for that, right? Let me get this real quick as well. Right, this is Hebrews 11 and where am I going to start from? Yeah, I'm gonna read from 37. Right, in fact, from 30 and 36. Right, it says, and others had trial of cruel mockers and scourgings, yea, moreover, of bonds and imprisonment. Right, it says they were stoned, right, stoned to death. They were sawn asunder. When you read, extra biblical sources, it basically says that Isaiah was sawn in the middle of a tree trunk, man. That's a nasty way to go. But this guy's talking about just being put in prison. It says, were tempted, were slain with the sword. They wandered about in sheepskins and goatskins, John the Baptist, being destitute, afflicted, and tormented. Being destitute. Let's look up this word here, right? And if one to come bound, be destitute, want to be in worse, behind to come lately. Yeah, that's what I was always saying. These doesn't really make sense, but to be wanting, right? To be in want. Let's see what. It's extremely poor and lacking the means to provide for oneself. Right, so what did these guys call us, man? They'll be like, oh, you bums, you this, you that. But it says, they were destitute, afflicted, and tormented. Right? But, like I said, that just shows someone who doesn't, who doesn't understand the scriptures. Right, the prophets went through these things. Right, this is Matthew 10:18. It says, and ye shall be brought before governors and kings for my sake, for a testimony against them and the Gentiles. Right, so it's Yahweh Shah prophesied it. It says, when there will come a time when we will be brought before governors and kings, right, for a testimony against them. Right, because what we're saying is a problem to this society, and they'll want us to answer for it at some point. Right, it says, but when they deliver you up, take no thought how no thought how or what ye shall speak, for it shall be given you in that same hour what ye shall speak. So when these things happen, I'm not saying it's going to happen to all brothers, right? It says when these things happen, right, the Lord is going to be the one that's going to put the words in our mouth to do X, Y, and, to say what we need to say. Or maybe not even say anything. Right, but this is a prophecy saying this will happen. You will be brought. Where do you think they're gonna keep you? They're gonna keep you in the prison, and then they're gonna bring you to trial almost. Well, not almost, but basically being brought to trial. Right, it's the 2 Corinthians, what do you call it? 11 and 20. Where am I going to start? Just jump to the point. It says, are they ministers of Yahweh Shai? I speak as a fool, I am more. It says, in labors more abundant, in stripes above measure, in prisons more frequent, in deaths oft. Right, so in prisons more frequent. You will get put in prison, man. That's just the what's the word I'm looking for? That's just part and parcel of the job. If it happens, it happens. Baruch Ve'al B'Hashem Yahushai. If it doesn't happen, it doesn't happen. Baruch Ve'al B'Hashem Yahushai. In all things, give thanks. Right, this is Acts 16:23. Says, and when they had laid many stripes upon them, they cast them into prison, charging the jailer to keep them safely. Right. Once again, the apostles being beaten and then put into prison. Same again in Acts 12:5 says, Peter therefore was kept in prison, but prayer was made without ceasing of the church unto the Most High for him. Right, so basically Peter was put in prison as well. Mark 6:17, it says, for Herod himself had sent forth and laid hold upon John, and bound him in prison for Herodias' sake, his brother Philip's wife, for he had married her. Right, we all know the fate that befell John the Baptist. John the Baptist was put to death for this truth, man. This is Revelations 2:10. It says, fear none of those things which thou shalt suffer. Once again written in red. It says, behold, the devil shall cast some of you into prison. This is a prophecy. So really and truly, these two scriptures that Yahweh Shai brought out was all I needed to go into. Looking at it, because Yahweh Shai prophesied, and scriptures say, what would you call it? The Lord is not a man that he should lie. Right, because whatever scriptures say Yahweh and Yahweh Shai are one in mind, not as an entity, but they're of one accord, in agreement with each other. Meaning that if Yahweh's not a man that he should lie, Yahweh Shai isn't gonna lie. Right? It says, behold, the devil shall cast some of you into prison, that ye may be tried, and ye shall have tribulation 10 days. Be thou faithful unto death, and I will give thee a crown of life. Right? Which is what we're aiming for, which is what we're hoping for. Right? And just to finish it off, this is Revelations 20:4 says, and I saw thrones, and they that sat upon them, and judgment was given unto them, and I saw the souls of them that were beheaded for the witness of Yahweh Shai. Right, so where you gonna get beheaded? Just what makeshift? Would you call it beheading camps somewhere? No, do you go carted off to some concentration camp somewhere, which is a prison, and they're gonna do what they're gonna do, man. They got the guillotines. FEMA has the guillotines ready, man. So like I said, I just wanted to get into that real quick. I've been meaning to do it for a minute now, but yeah, it's just scriptures talk about you do err not knowing the scriptures, man. Woe unto you that have lost patience. Well, woe of you. Oh, it's not really relevant in this one, but certainly he didn't have the faith. He didn't have the faith, man. He got shook up. But hey, the Dhamma say shalom.